Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday morning. I feel a little bit more well-rested than I do on a typical Wednesday, but that's okay because Thursday night we're going to get back together. We're going to play some NCAA football. Told you guys yesterday, Thursday night, NCAA night for the rest of May, and then we'll look at the schedule moving forward from there. But look, it's that time of year. It is May. It's that time of year where all the lists start to come out. Best quarterback groups coming out of spring camp. Best linebacker units coming out of spring camp. Who's got the top 5 this, the top 10 that, the top 12 that. But look, I would rather talk college football, Tennessee football all day, every day than anything else. So that's what we do on this channel. I saw this on Twitter. Good old Jesse Simonton, for all you Vol questers, the old Gator dog, put out a top 10 defensive line / edge units. Now, something I've talked a lot about on this channel. I know it for a fact. I've been given it with good authority that this coaching staff, this NIL collective at Tennessee, is focused on 3 things. Making sure you've got a quarterback. We've seen that. Nico, George, moving ahead in the class of 26. We're targeting the #1 quarterback in the country. Protect the quarterback. Now, some of you guys would argue that Glenn Ellerbe has not done a good enough job, and I would agree to some extent. I think early in his time at Tennessee, he missed on some big-time targets. That's why we lack depth, but now you look that he's added Lance Hurd. He added 3 guys inside the top 300 this past cycle, and he's in on some big-time targets in the class of 25. The other position is getting after the quarterback. Guys that can get after the quarterback, and I think Tennessee has shown that they can do that on the recruiting trail with guys like James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, Caleb Herring, Jordan Ross. But Gator Dog puts out this list, top 10 defensive line edge units. You can see Tennessee falls down there at 9th. They are inside the top 10. What are your thoughts on this? I kind of skimmed over his article. He talked about Ohio State. They're returning 3 of their starters. 2 of those guys are 5 stars. Kind of hard to argue with Ohio State. Michigan, I don't really get. Kind of scratching my head. They lost a ton of production from that team a year ago. Georgia's not had the same defensive line last season as we've seen in previous years. It's just not the same as they've been prior, but they're still a solid unit. Ole Miss, I know, added some guys via the portal, one of which was Walter Nolan. But the thing about the Vols is they are experienced and they are proven. Let's take a listen to what Tim Banks thinks of this defensive line.
Yeah, again, I think we should really have the best defensive line in the country. I feel really good about our depth that we're building. I feel really strongly about, their attitude and the determination that those guys have played with. And again, I'm not even talking as much about football, just great guys. They're great human beings and, they've really worked hard. And, as coaches, we want to see guys develop and reach their full potential.
I don't think as a defensive coordinator you sit up there in front of the media and call your defensive line group the best in the country unless you truly believe that. On the flip side, I like that Rodney Garner followed it up within a week. They asked him, they said, did you hear what Tim Banks said? Rodney Garner said, we got to go prove it. And I get that. I get a lot of those comments this time of year. Doesn't matter. Why are we talking about it? Just go prove it on the field. Yeah, you're right. They do have to go prove it on the field. But again, I would rather talk Tennessee football all day, every day, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. What they said, what Jesse had to say about the Vols, said they have the nation's best pass rusher in James Pierce, a potential top 5 NFL draft pick next April. Pierce had 10 sacks and a 19% pressure rate, which was number 3 nationally among all pass rushers per PFF. They also returned senior tackles Omari Thomas, Bryson Eason, Elijah Simmons, Dominic Bailey, senior Omar Norman Lott, a former Arizona State transfer who flashed in a reserve role in 2023. That's a boatload of experience for an SEC defensive line, especially a unit coached by the venerable Rodney Garner and that has intriguing backups like Jordan Ross and David Hobbs. I think that's what makes Tennessee's defensive line unit the best in the country is their depth. They go 3 deep across the board at every position. Some guys he didn't even mention, Jason Jenkins, a guy that Rodney Garner said had a really good spring. A guy that teased entering the portal, but I'm thankful, man. I'm glad that he elected to come back. You added Jackson Moy via the transfer portal, a guy that also got a lot of buzz this spring. He's 3 deep. That's how deep they are. Jackson Moy is 3rd string. That's how deep this defensive line unit is. But I want you guys to talk about it in the comment section. Look at that list. Tell me where you think Tennessee falls. How crazy is that? And again, I think Tennessee has proven that they're going to continue to recruit elite edge rushers, guys like James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, Jordan Ross. And there's another one. We got to continue. You got to recruit year in and year out. This came out on Twitter recently. LSU, Ohio State, Tennessee, and Alabama have emerged as the leaders for top 100 edge rusher Damen Shanklin. Now, it's kind of interesting because Notre Dame was at one time considered the favorite for Damen Shanklin. They actually had the crystal ball predictions. All the momentum was towards Notre Dame. Not so fast, my friend. Recruiting is fluid. Do the Vols have a legitimate shot here? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Smash that thumbs up. It's just right down there. Maybe over here. Could be over there. Just hit that thumbs up. It's quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We're not journalists. We don't break news. We don't pretend to do any of that stuff. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We are the heartbeat of the Tennessee volunteer football fan base right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Again, I'm going to be live tomorrow night, Thursday night, playing NCAA football, talking all things Tennessee football. And then next Wednesday, we're going live at 7 p.m. Eastern time for a live film breakdown. Coach Rice versus Rocky Top Tom in the #1 contendership. The winner takes on Coach J for the World Heavyweight Championship. Make sure you tune in. Those two guys have to pick a 3-star prospect that's either committed to Tennessee or being targeted by Tennessee. So that's next Wednesday. Make sure you tune in for that. Should be a lot of fun. Let's go take a look at Damen Shanklin. Again, a 4-star edge rusher, 6'4", 215 pounds, out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Top 100 player, 86 overall, according to the On3 industry rankings. There's not a scouting report out there. 247 Sports On3. Nobody has anything out, but I did find this quote from his high school coach. He said his upside is his willingness to compete all the time. He's always wanting to compete at anything he does. I think that goes a long way towards you want to play any sport. You get guys with talent, but they don't know how to compete. He knows how to compete. He goes on and says another thing. He's a physical player who understands body leverage. He works at his craft, doesn't miss training sessions. He works at it. As a junior, he had 66 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Also added an interception in there. Now, I've told you guys a lot. This next couple of months are going to be busy. Recruiting is about to pick up. A lot of these official visits are going to take place. Decisions are going to be coming in June, also July. We got a decision right around the corner. Interior offensive lineman is scheduled to come off the board. We're going to be covering that right here on the channel. So make sure you guys are dialed in and paying attention. Make sure you click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live. But official visits for Damen Shanklin are going to be in LSU on May the 31st, Ohio State on June the 7th, Tennessee on the 14th, and then Alabama on June the 21st. Now, I read an article that said these things about each of his favorite teams. Shanklin on LSU said just got the bond with the coaches and also the commits. He goes on to say, I know if I was to go there, I would be able to play early and just love how they brought me in and had great hospitality. He goes on to talk about Ohio State. He says it's my dream school. On top of that, just the tradition and the standard that they have at Ohio State, and they make sure to develop their players. With Alabama, he just says, same as LSU, outside of the commits part, had a great time. So doesn't seem like a whole lot to say about Alabama there. On Tennessee, he said, when I went to Tennessee, I felt all the love that they brought. Also, the hospitality was amazing. And during the game, the fans is all for football, no matter what. Damen, that's why we talk college football, Tennessee football all day, every day right here, because we eat, sleep, and breathe Tennessee football. The game he was referencing, he was actually in town for the Georgia game last season. Rodney Garner was also in home with him back on April the 24th. But I saw a recent interview with VolQuest. He said that Tennessee's telling him that he fits the culture of the program and also the defense. They feel like I'm a great player, a great edge rusher that can get after the quarterback in their system. Now, he plans to make a decision after his senior season. So that's a little different than some of these other guys. A lot of these guys are going to pull the trigger in July or August. He wants to wait till after his season, possibly November. Says, I'm looking for a great culture, a great brotherhood, tough coaching, and a place that is ready to handle adversity when tough times come. Well, I can think of no better place than the University of Tennessee. Great culture, check. Great brotherhood, check. Tough coaching, just go watch Rodney Garner, coach one practice. That's all you need to do. Check. And a place that is ready to handle adversity. We have been through it and come out on the other side. Check. I don't like that he called Ohio State his dream school, but I also Look, I understand it's recruiting, right? Like I said at the top of the video, Notre Dame was leading this thing just a matter of weeks ago. No longer in the mix. The top 4 that he dropped is finalized. So you get him on campus for the official. You shoot your shot. You let the chips fall where they may. One thing is for certain, I am never going to worry about the defensive line as long as Rodney Garner is coaching at Tennessee. What do you think, guys? Show me in the comment section the top 10 list for the best defensive line edge units in the country, and also your thoughts on Damen Shanklin coming to Tennessee. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up. On the way out the door, go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can rep the brand. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is also in the description below. Shout out to the members of the channel. You want to support this channel. You want to support the content. You like the live streams, the community aspect, whatever it is you like about this channel, you want to support us, think about hitting the join button. It's right beside subscribe. You can do that for just $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But more than anything, you're supporting this channel. We talk about for the fans, by the fans. It is also fan funded. We could not do this without you guys. We don't have a team of 20 guys. We don't have producers. We don't have any of that. It's just a bunch of diehard Tennessee fans coming on here, hanging out with you guys. So we appreciate the support. That is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.